Hello guys, I hope you're doing well today. Coming at you with the next excerpt from my first novel in a series, Black and White Odyssey of Eden, continuing where I left off. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. She scuffled her shoeless feet upon a gravel path that lay before her, caressing her malnourished body between her arms, trying to muffle a persistent cough. It was a path bathed in that single ray of sunshine off in the distance, as if it were a lighthouse beckoning her on the direction home. It stood unperturbed by wind or cloud cover, far longer than she thought it should have. Beyond the path were the edifices of a mighty mountain range, but they were not covered in snow. The devastation around her guaranteed that to be impossible. To the left of the path was a forested area. It had not caught ablaze, but was thoroughly scorched from the demonic toils of man. Her surroundings were eerily quiet, though, and this soothed her mind. Eerily quiet, though, and this soothed her mind. For days, she had been under constant bombardment by the tortured screams of her friends and family, writhing in agony, and the booming fires of the buildings she once knew well, her grocery store, her company headquarters, her canine trainer, her acting coach, her vocal coach. These people, these things, were all distant memories to her now. But their destruction was not. Her world had been in a rapidly accelerating collapse for months, years. It was only in the past few weeks that she recognized they had reached the point of no return, that there would be no sunrise for many of those she held dearest to her heart. As she progressed along the path, despite the world swimming in destruction around her, she slowly began to feel stronger. A smile began to form across her face. The air, while still gusting in her face, felt warm, almost inviting. She took on a resoluteness as she walked, a gait that would almost be mistaken for a march, had she not been so badly weakened. I am charged with the will of a dead god, she thought. Is there still a chance? She cleared her throat to stifle any vulnerability. She would fight to the end, to whatever end, whether it be instinctual or by faith. As the path began to turn to the right, towards the mountains, she heard a rustling in the forest to her left. What in the world? She thought. There shouldn't be anything alive in there. With a Herculean effort, she raised her emaciated arms into a fighting stance and clenched her fists, body wavering from side to side as she did. "Who's there?" she coughed. The silhouette of a towering figure stood just inside the tree line. "I don't think you'd be able to fight me off even if I were aggressive to you, little lady." A deep, paternal voice echoed through the charred trees. The figure stepped out of the shadows cautiously, hands held up in a truce. He was a giant of a man, grease and mud-caked on his face. His hair rustled in a bush that would be indiscernible from the surroundings. He wore the battle uniform of a United States Air Force general, though no self-respecting officer would accept a uniform in such a state as his in any other period than wartime. It was torn to shreds below the knees, buttons missing from the blouse. Catherine tensed up more. "What do you want, you son of a bitch? You're the one that caused this." "There is another time for that discussion. Right now, we need to get to safety." The general's resolute face took on a tone of melancholia, singing a solemn anthem of regret, eyes directing Catherine where to go. He reached a hand out to her. "Please, give me your hand, sweetheart. Let me help you." She looked up into his face and saw the agony within, lying heavily upon his conscience. She dropped her guard and took his hand, a wordless apology spoken for her callous words. "Sweetheart, I I think it might be just you and me for a while. There ain't likely to be many survivors, especially with the temperature increasing so rapidly as it is. We were compromised, even to the heart. They found us all, even the preppers. And that's it for this section, guys. I'll come at you with the next one later. Love y'all. Peace.